Going? Okay, this story is really apropos for our economy, and entirely true story, entirely true story. I lived in Mt.Vernon, Missouri, which is like 3,000 people. It was so small when I lived there, there was no movie theater that was open. There's like one street light as you're going through the town to kind of just go, oh, you're in a town. It's so small. There's nothing to do there. There's like nothing to do in that town. And you got to really look for stuff to do. And one of the big things to do is like when the high school has a football game, the whole county comes because it's something to do, because there's nothing to do. It is so boring in Mt.Vernon, Missouri that one day I'd heard this rumor and I came home to my wife for lunch and I said, throw the kids in the stroller, there's some excitement on the other end of town. And we put the kids in the stroller and we walked across town, which was like a mile, and there was a Ford F-150 pickup that someone had painted pink and put bull horns on the front. I'd heard this. It was such big news in this town that someone had painted the truck pink and put horns on it that we had to go see it. And we walked across town, and I remember standing there with my ex-wife and my kids. My kids were like 1 and 2, going, wow, that is a pink truck. Look at them horns. Ain't that something? And then we walked home. That's how boring this town was. There was nothing to do. So one night we had our best friends over, Mike and Bonnie Anderson. And Mike is now a chiropractor in El Paso. Del Norte Chiropractic is what his office is called. And Mike is this big, tall towhead, just a big, tall, blonde guy, really skinny, and really tall and really blonde. And he came over and we were all doing stuff and he disappeared somewhere and we didn't even notice. And so it's me, Bonnie, and my ex-wife sitting there. And Mike comes out of my kids' room and he's got on, my daughter was like 2 or 3 at the time, maybe 3. And she had a little ballerina tutu, a little pink ballerina tutu, and he had this little tutu on. I mean, he was so skinny that he could wear a 3-year-old girl's ballerina tutu. And he had her little purse on his shoulder. And I remember he had this little diamond-studded tiara crown. And he had these pink glasses that had dolphins that were leaping over him. He had other stuff on. But he comes walking out in this little outfit, and it was funny. And so we're like, wow, that's funny. And then I'm like, you know what we need to do? We need to take you out on the town and show you off here. And this is a really redneck, country western, Bible-thumping town. And there was a McDonald's, and we took him to McDonald's, and the game had just ended, and everybody went to this McDonald's because there was no other real fast food place. There was a Burger King, or Hardee's, I don't remember which, and then McDonald's. And we go in there, and it's packed. And we actually took a video camera, and my ex-wife and Bonnie and I sat over on this side when Mike comes in. And I'd given Mike an assignment. Mike comes in, and the place is full of all these redneck cowboys. They all look exactly the same. They all have a belt buckle the size of a dinner plate that's got rodeo something on it. They all have either a cowboy hat or a John Deere tractor hat or a Caterpillar tractor hat. And they're all chewing tobacco. They all got dip in their lip. Standing there. And Mike walks in, this big, tall, skinny, blonde guy in a ballerina tutu, a diamond-studded crown, pink dolphin sunglasses, and a little purse and some other jewelry. And he walks in and these guys are all like, look at that son of a bitch. He looks stupid. And Mike's waiting in line and there's a huge crowd and he very patiently works his way through the crowd. Hundreds of people, the whole county's there. And he finally gets up to the cash register and there's this little girl behind the cash register. He's towering over her and she looks scared. She's been watching him get closer and closer like he's going to pull out this little purse and take a machine gun out and kill everybody. I mean, he looks crazy. And she's standing there looking at him and she says, what do you want? And he says, I want a Big Mac and I want you to bring it to me so that the buns are separate, the meat is separate, the toppings are separate, the sauce is separate, and then the wrapper. She's like, okay. And she leaves. The manager comes out And here's a tray, and it's got the wrapper, the buns, the meat, the sauce, and the lettuce, and tomato and stuff, all separate. And he's like, here's your order, sir. What are you going to do with this? And Mike says, I'm going to take this home. And I'm going to put it together as fast as I can, and I'm going to time myself, then I'm going to take it all apart. Then I'll put it together again as fast as I can, and I'm going to time myself, and I'm going to take it apart. Then I'm going to put it together again as fast as I can, and I'm going to time myself, and then I'm going to take it apart. And I'm going to do that over and over again until I can do it faster than anybody in the world. Then I'm going to come back here, get a job, and be the employee of the month. And the manager, we were expecting him to call Phil Turk, who was the chief of police. I knew Phil, and he'd come and he'd be like, you guys, just get on out of here. But they didn't. The manager goes, that's awesome. Come on back. And he comes over here and he brings Mike back behind into the work area, and they're really busy, but the manager's like showing him around, going, you see this? This is a French fry vat. We take French fries, we cook them, we put them in a box, and they eat them. See this? This is a hamburger grill. We put hamburgers on there, we cook them, we box them, and they eat them. You could run this. This could be your territory. You could run this. This could be all yours. You could be the king of this domain. And then they disappear farther into the manager's office, and we're like, oh no, what are they doing to Mike back there? And Mike comes out a little while later looking kind of stunned with a piece of paper, and he's like, let's go. And we all go out and we're like, what did he do to you, man? And he's like, well, there's a big calendar on the wall, and he goes, when can you come back? How long will it take you to be the fastest Big Mac maker in the world? When can we have you come back? And Mike's like, I don't know, like 2 weeks. And Mike was in school to go be a doctor. He had no intention of doing this, but he didn't want to like blow the story now. He's like, how about 2 weeks? And the manager puts a big red X on the calendar going, perfect. How's 4 o'clock? We'll see you then, man. Hands Mike an application. It's like, I can't wait for you to work. I can't wait for you to be on our team, Mike. Bye, Mike. Mike's like, yeah, bye, man. And he leaves. He's like, God, I feel really bad, you know, because they thought I was like retarded or something. They're like so nice to me. I thought I was going to get thrown out of there, but they're like being all nice. The point of the story is this. This is the lesson, because I'm teaching. That's what I do. I teach. I'm a teacher. The point of the story is this, is that enthusiasm goes a long way. You know, as you're going out and you guys, you know, apply for jobs and you're trying to get into certain schools, or you're trying to apply for jobs, or maybe even get a date with someone. Enthusiasm goes a long way. If you're really interested, if you put a lot into it, if you look excited, if you have goals and a focus and you want to be the best, it can often overcome deficiencies like applying for a job in a ballerina tutu. I mean, you got to admit that's an obstacle that a potential employer has to get past in order to consider you as a job applicant. And so having a little bit of enthusiasm, enjoying what you're doing, looking excited to do your best can really win over employers and schools and potential people that you want to be around. That's the point of the story.